student and served as ASB president. And, you know, it's one of those things where we talk about the athletic resume and how impressive it is for all of you, but to go that extra mile that Ross Flowers did, it's really kind of, it's just the way he can accomplish things outside on the field and inside that classroom is really, I think it's just impressive. 4-year letterman with a full athletic scholarship to UCLA. You know, he wrote a book back just a few years ago, Introducing Your Child to Sports, and he was a special guest on New Day, and I got to listen to the interview, and it was about 10 minutes long, and he said so many important things, and you could tell that he had a great upbringing, and he's really turned out to be a heck of a man. He earned a doctorate degree in counseling psychology, and again, Ross is just one that stands out of all the inductees that I read up on. He's just the one that he had a solid athletic resume, but boy, to go that extra mile, become a doctor, and be able to give back to the community as much as he does, it's just really impressive. So 2019 Hall of Fame inductee Ross Flowers, that's Dr. Ross Flowers. Here's a little bit more about Ross.
Well, first of all, it's always a pleasure coming back home to Seattle. I have a lot of people I want to thank. First and foremost, SPSS, thank you for this opportunity to be here. And thank you for the committee members for considering me and allowing me to stand up here in front of you. You know, it was mentioned here that, you know, I won a number of titles before even entering high school. I thought that was going to be my claim to fame. I've won 5 national championships, what was then TAC, what's now USA Track and Field Junior Olympics. I won 5 titles before I entered high school. So I thought, oh, that was a pretty good career, you know, that may be it. But I had great aspirations going into Garfield. I knew Garfield had a great tradition of success. They had, I think when I entered Garfield High School, maybe to this day, one of the best track and field programs that 1985, 1986 year. Many of the people on that team you will likely see on the stage after in the years to come, because I'm pretty sure there's about 4 state records that are still held by people on that team. So I entered Garfield with great aspirations. One of the things that I remember, though, when I entered that team, Coach Fred Beckwith, the late Fred Beckwith, said to me, you know, he'd kind of seen me in summer track running, and he said, you know, I think you're going to be a great 300 hurdler. And I said, I don't know about 300 hurdles. I'm a sprinter. You know, I do short distance. He said, no, you've got a great stride length. I think you're going to be a pretty good 300 hurdler. For whatever reason, I never quite got the 300 hurdles. I never really got the steps, and it just, for whatever reason, didn't work out. So Coach Beckwith said, let's put you in cross country. Make sure you get that endurance so you can run 300 hurdles. So my senior year, he couldn't get me to run cross country my senior year. My senior year, I ran cross country. He actually got me one full meet, which I completed. But that for sure helped me as I progressed going into college. So as I finished high school, I'd won a number of state titles. To this day, 31 years later, still have the state record in the 110-meter high hurdles. But that led me to have more faith and belief in what I could do going into college. I had a full ride going to UCLA, and similar to walking into Garfield's track and field program with all those great successful athletes, I walked into UCLA's program in 1988. They had, you know, a plethora of Olympians and Olympic champions, not just people who went to the games, but people who came away with gold medals. From Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Gail Devers, Kevin Young, Steve Lewis, Mike Marsh. I might go on and on about the people that were on the track. So that's what I walked into. So I had aspirations like, why not me? Why can't I go to the games? You know, I'll work hard, see if I can achieve those same things. Unfortunately, my dad mentioned I had a major injury. But while I went through that rehabilitation process, one of the things I learned about was who I was as an individual. I came into school thinking I'm going to the Olympics like everyone else that was at UCLA. But when I was told after that injury that you're probably not going to run track anymore, we've never had an injury like that in a hurdler, and your career's probably over. And so when my coach told me that, of course I was hurt and I was shook. but I dedicated myself to learning more about who I am, what I wanted to be if I couldn't continue in track. Fortunately, I was able to, but that's when I learned about my future of being a psychologist. I was fortunate to have 2 other African-American men on campus who were doctors in psychology, and both were pursuing careers in sports psychology. So that was my introduction, and it opened me up to what is now, I've enjoyed a great career in sport performance, having the opportunity to travel around the world with universities, Olympics, professional sports now, and doing in executive coaching with military, academia, and other professionals around the world. But one of the things I think that stood out to me was training every day in the company of so many great people. And from high school through college, one of the things I learned about surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to grow, but also support you through that challenge. So I've got many people to thank. I don't want to go on too long, but the obvious ones are my high school coaches. The late Fred Beckwith and Frank Ahern were instrumental in my development in the sport, but also really taught me how to be a man early on. One of the things that at that time in the mid to late 80s Garfield was known for was a lot of the violence and gang activity around the school. And Bruce and I were ASG president and ASG vice president. We did a lot of community service. And we go out to the community and talk about how great Garfield was. A lot of people didn't know at that time we had the most National Merit Scholars in the state, and we had a great academic and science program. We weren't just a basketball and track and field powerhouse. Most importantly, my parents. My parents introduced me to sport. They taught me the fundamentals of motivation and how to not only be motivated for success externally, but how to find my internal motivation. They pushed me, they picked me up when I got hurt. They celebrated when I was successful. And today, they are my greatest life coaches. Thank you. Look, as competitors, we want those hard to achieve goals. So outside of my parents, I've always had hard to achieve goal in reaching the accolades of my older brother, Dr. Chris Flowers. He set the high bar of being a man with inner strength, humility, and integrity. And he's also taller than me, and at this age, he has a stronger head of hair. Growing up, I spent a lot of time with my extended family. My aunts are here. Before school and after school, I spent a lot of time with them, and they helped nourish not only my belly, but also my spirit, my pride as a man, and they were never humble to help me build my character. Yes, I did have a girlfriend that had a Jerry curl in high school. My closest friends are my friends from high school. My high school friends, we've been known as the Four Horsemen. They're the epitome of character, and we've been together for many years. I've known Bruce since we were 10 years old. We started summer track together. I thank you for always showing up for me, Bruce. Thank you. Most importantly, Anthony, Aiden, come on, Christian, turn around, brother. I encourage you to surround yourself with people who would challenge you to grow, and will always support you through that process. We've been through a lot together, and as Mr. Lee said earlier, dream big. But I encourage you, dream big in vivid color. Use all of your senses to make your dreams come alive. I thank you for allowing me to parent you and learn and relearn how to parent every day, because it always changes. We'll continue to play together, pray together, and stay together. Thank you.